Hey there everyone, it's Thakard and welcome back to more Survival Fountain of Youth. Now today we're once again doing something a little bit different and we're going to be talking about a specific topic, and that is the perks. In fact, we're going to have two videos out today. First off, we are going to be ranking all of the perks in the game onto a tier list because people like tier lists, so we're going to do it. Secondly, I'm going to show you guys later on today, there will be a second video, and it's going to be like my first 5. I think I'm going to just keep it to 5. I might slip a couple more in there, but my first 5 perk points that I pick. Now, what you see up there on the S tier today in this video may not be one of those first 5 perk points that I pick, because sometimes something that's on the S tier might be a little ways down the path for you to get. But today, first off, we're going to be doing this tier list, and then we are going to be doing my first 5. All right, guys, let's get into this tier list. Please, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, if you think I'm off base on one of these for some reason, please leave those comments down below. Let's start a discussion about this. That way we can see what everyone believes. We can kind of, figure out where it should really stand. All right. Also, make sure you guys like up the video, subscribe to the channel, because you guys doing that allows me, lets me see that that is content that you guys enjoy watching. So I continue to make it. All right, guys. So let's get down to this tier list. And first off, we are going to be talking about Concentration 1. Now, Concentration 1 unlocks the concentration mode, which is the Vault V key. What it does is it takes special objects, weapons, ammo, and drop bags, and then they are highlighted. For me personally, like I said, all these are a personal thing. This is going to be a B tier item. I don't often pick it up right away because, one, I don't like highlighting things like the special objects, because I like finding those all on my lonesome. 2, when I die, if I die, I generally know where it happened, so I don't need to go and highlight my bag. Now, what I will get this for is if I am throwing spears. I don't use ranged weapons often because I just think my spear is perfectly fine for most of the jobs. But if you are a person who uses a bow and arrow, uses the crossbow, if you throw those spears, I throw the spear every once in a while, and maybe it goes careening the wrong direction. You have to go find it. Or you sail it over your target and it lands way past it. Or maybe it's stuck in the side of a peg and it runs off into the distance all on its own. Concentration 1 is great for that. So it's going to sit here on the B tier because, is it useful? Yes. Is it going to save your day? Not really. All right, up next is Concentration 2, and this is highlighting animal remains and animal tracks. This is going to be down here in C. It's nice if you are hunting and you lose track of an animal. That's kind of it. If you kill an animal, now maybe some people don't have like really great memory. It's like, but if I kill an animal, I look around, I go, all right, I'm bound by the side of this mountain. There's a tree over there. I can look at a tree over here, and then the animal's right here. So I can, like, 99% of the time walk right back to the animal that I killed if I go like to my camp and come back. So if that is an issue that you have, that you can't quite remember that stuff, this is a little more valuable for you. But chasing down wounded animals, you're going to find it again. Don't worry. Either that or they're going to drop over dead. Either way, at some point you'll find. All right, next up, Concentration 3. This highlights poisonous animals. This is going to be our first of the D tier. Actually, we'll put in the C tier. We'll put in the C tier. We're only going to put in the C tier for the fact that I really, really hate snakes. I really hate snakes. If you've ever seen me during my stream where I accidentally get too close to one, step on it, strikes me, I have a visceral reaction, jumping up on my chair, curling up into a ball, all that. It's not pretty. That being said, you can hear them. And if you are in the jungle, you know to be aware of them. So is it nice to show off stuff? It's like, all right, it's right over there. I don't even have to go close to it. I can just work my way around. That's really good. Issue with it is, okay, so I can see the thing, I can avoid it, but it's a lot of perk points. It's a lot of perk points to spend to get to this one thing. So it's not that great, in my opinion. Up next, Resist Disease 1 reduces the risk of getting a disease due to the weather by 30%. This is an A tier ability, or a skill, that is. There are a lot of these skills that are going to give us like 30% to resist something or other. 30% is a huge number. It's like if you've ever played MMOs, you never get 30% as a resistance number from like an ability. It's like, at most, it's like, hey, you can get these things and it'll give you 5% resistance. 30% is unheard of. And the only reason why this sits at A and not any higher is it's just due to weather factors, which are things that you can easily counter with other means. Clothing takes care of things like sunburn and the rain. You know, oh, you're cold. Fine, build a fire. You know, that'll also help you dry out. So the likelihood that you get sick due to the weather, so things like the sun, the heat, the cold, and the wind, there's less of a chance to get those. So it's a little less important. All right, up next, we have Resist Disease 2. Natural Recovery heals all types of flu 50% better. This one is going to be a C tier one. Now, the reason why it's a C tier one, I mean, because 50% is huge. 50% is absolutely huge. It's only the flu. It's only the flu. And as we just said, you can counter that with wearing clothing, having a fire with you, you know. So there are ways to deal with catching the flu. And, you know, and then there are other ways to help treat that. So it's one of those, is it a big number? 50%? Yes. But it's only for one thing, and that's the flu. All right, up next, we have Resist Disease 3. This is Natural Recovery heals all types of wounds 50% faster. Now this one is an A. And you go, Thakard, it's like the same thing. It only treats one thing. Right, but it's treating wounds. Wounds are something you will get all the time. You can prevent yourself from getting sick due to the rain and catching the flu. Wounds, you're going to get because you fall off something a little too high and you take damage when you fall. You run into a tegu or a smaller dog or a harpy or a leopard or any of the critters out there, you know, they're going to give you wounds. A jackal is not going to give you the flu. Therefore, the likelihood that you're going to get wounds in this game is immeasurably, it's off the scale higher than the chances of getting the flu. So therefore, this 50% is so much more important than the 50% for the flu of Resist Disease 2. So there you go. Resist Poison number 1. Hang on a second. I have notes I'm reading off just so I can make sure I have all the correct numbers for you. Resist Poisoned number 1 is our first S tier. Now, Resist Poison gives you a chance of lowers the chance of getting indigestion, so getting sick from foods, by 30%. 30%, as we said, is a huge number. But more overly, this is for something that you do constantly from when you land on the beach to when you finally uninstall the game. You will always be eating and drinking. Therefore, if you can lower the chance of getting sick while you are eating and drinking, that is huge. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, if you're out there, maybe you have to eat something raw. It's like, oh, all I have are these bird eggs with me, and I don't have enough food to get back to camp. Okay, chug down a bird egg. The likelihood that it's going to get you sick, 30% chance less. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Resist Poison 2, Resist Poison 3, both, again, have 30% chances for you resisting poisoning, but Resist Poison 2 is for insect bites, and Resist Poison 3 is for snake bites, and they both belong in the D tier. Primarily for the reason of it just doesn't happen that often. For spiders and scorpions, most of the times you're going to see them before you ever get to them. If you have a torch, they are going to run away from you. The most likely time that you will get stung or bit by them is if you are harvesting something, especially in the forest or maybe in a cave, something like that. If you're harvesting something, you might get bit. That being said, even if you do get bit or stung, the likelihood that you will then get poisoned is not that high. Even on very hard. Will it happen to you? Yes. Is it worth spending the point on? No, not even on very hard. It's much more important to keep those points for other things. And with 3, which is for snakes, again, you can hear them coming. Okay, I'm in the jungle. I know they're here. I'm up on the mountain. I know they're here. All that jazz. If you're in their area, you should be looking out for them. That way you don't get bit. But again, like I said, I've stepped on them when I've been streaming. You've seen the reaction. I don't like them. I never get poisoned. So those guys sit safely all the way bottom on the D tier. Up next, get into some more important things here. Thirst control number 1. Eating water-containing food. So if it has 1 hydration, you get +5 hydration bonus. This, easy S tier. This one right here is right up there. It's either going to be the first or second one you get. And that depends on how lucky you are with other supplies. First or second one you get. And the ability to get extra hydration with all the food that you have is, again, another one of these things. You are going to be eating from the moment you open your eyes on the beach to the moment you finally uninstall the game. Being able to get hydration, more hydration from the food is huge. And its scaling is all over the place. So if it's for something that has very little hydration, if it's a thing that has 1 hydration, the percentage boost that you have is hundreds of percent. If it's something that has, a lot of hydration, normally, obviously it's a lot smaller of a percent. But especially in the early game, that extra 5 hydration will save your life. So grab it early. All right. Hydration number 2, or thirst control number 2, clean water hydrates 25% more. That is going to be an A. This goes kind of in line with the thirst control 1. This makes clean water, so just water you're getting from water sources or distillers. It gives you 25% more of that for your sips. The thing is, when you take your sips, it doesn't give you that much. So that 25% isn't that huge when it comes to the grand total of stuff. Thirst control 1 giving you +5 on all types of food is going to be more important, especially early on in the game. By the time you get to the point where you'll pick up thirst control 2, first off, you kind of need to have a good source of, clean water, because it doesn't have a point until you have a good source of clean water. And once you have a good source of clean water, well, you have the clean water anyways. So, maybe you don't have to make nearly as much, but you should be making clean water basically continuously. So it's nice. It has advantages. It's good for when you are going to, like, say, Copper Island or the new region. you can carry a little bit more water with you, and it lasts a little bit longer. That's a good work case. But it's like when you're on Island of Hope doing stuff, gathering things, it's fine, but it's not the king. All right, thirst control 3 increases upper limit for hydration by 10%. That's actually going to go all the way down here in the D tier. All it does is says, all right, I can now drink up to 110% versus 100%. So all it does for all the skill points it costs, and you have to remember, it's not the skill point, just the skill points for this, which is what, 5? It's also the 3 here and the 1 here. So it takes all these skill points to get it. And it gives me 10 hydration. And it's not that it makes foods or water have more hydration. It just allows me to carry 10 more, which isn't really worth it. They really should give it some type of hydration bonus. But as it stands right now, the plus 10, it just gives you a little extra buffer. And it's not much of one. Just a little extra buffer. So it's not that big of a deal. It's going to sit down there at the bottom. All right, up next, we have Hunger Control Numero Uno. And this guy is going to go on the A tier. Really debating about putting it up there with the S tier with the thirst control because it's along the same lines. Eating nutritious foods give you plus 5 food bonus to those foods. So whenever you eat something, you get plus 5 food. The reason why it's going to sit here on the A tier instead of the S tier is because your food drops a lot slower than your hydration. So you're going to be worried about your hydration more. On top of that, there are many more sources of food than there are hydration. Therefore, this guy, even though it's a really good stat for the food, it's not as good as a one for the water. That's why it sits there. All right, hang on a sec. Okay. Hunger Control 2 slows down starvation process while sleeping by 20%. We're going to put this one here. This is one of those things where it's like, hey, it helps to solve a problem that shouldn't be a problem. So, rule of thumb, don't go to bed without enough food or water to last through the night. You know, it's that simple. Don't go to bed hungry. There are other ways you can deal with this besides spending all the skill points for it. You know, it's like you can keep extra dates. You can keep extra coconuts. You can keep dried meats. Wonderful. Dried fat. All these type of things. You can gather these resources up and you can just stick them in a box and have them sit. And then, you know, just don't go to bed without having enough of your hydration and your food to last through the night. It's a simple solution to a simple problem that doesn't require a lot of skill points. So that's why it's going to sit down here on the bottom. All right. Up next, we have Hunger Control 3. Increases the upper limit of satiety by 10%. This is the same thing as hydration, except once again, it's not as important because it deals with food and not water. It deals with food and not water, so it's not as important. All right, we're going to make a change here. We're going to move Thirst Control 3 up to the C branch because it is more important to have the possibility for extra hydration than it is to have extra food satiety levels. So we're going to edit this up a little bit, and this is to more just clearly show the difference that this is nowhere near as good as this. And this one isn't great, but it's always important to have better control of your hydration than your food. Okay, up next. Oh, guys, get ready, because these are important. So listen up. Better sleep number 1. Increases energy recovery rate while sleeping by 10%. S, not just S. This is the king of the skill charts. This is number 1 above everything, even above the hydration. Now, will you necessarily get it first? Not necessarily, but it is the number 1 of all the skills. Why? Because this is the simple rule of survival fountain of youth. You need to survive, so what you need to do is you need to build things, and you need to gather things, and then you need to have time to do that. So it breaks down like this. If you are sleeping, you are not doing anything. If I can spend less time sleeping, that means I'm spending more time gathering, which means I can build more things, which means I can survive easier and do more exploring. So all the seconds that you can save while you sleep by not sleeping with this skill point is absolutely worth it, 100%. Now, eventually in the game, it will drop off because once you can start making coffee, you don't ever have to sleep again. But early on in the game and into the mid game, this is such a huge help. It cannot be underestimated. It's just so important to grab. This, along with upgrading your little sleeping platform from the primitive bed of leaves to the bed of leaves to something better than that, because the better you can sleep, the less you have to sleep, the more you're doing survival stuff. So yeah, this is king. Up next, Better Sleep 2. Increases chance of recovery from all diseases by 20%. S tier. I'm going to be sleeping. We know this. Eventually, I'm going to be getting sick. We know this. I can heal myself while I'm sleeping. Something that I know I'm going to be doing for basically 8 hours of the day. Awesome. So we are increasing this rate by 20%. All right, so here's the thing. I've gotten indigestion, we'll say. We had some food, it didn't agree with us. Our tummy's gurgling. We go to sleep. We now have 20% extra chance to lose that stat while we sleep. We wake up in the morning. Did we lose it? No, we didn't. Okay, we pop some medicines. We go about our business. Did we, we have that 20% now. Did we lose it while we slept? Yes, we did. Awesome. We save our medicine and we go about on our business. This will help you save medicine for nothing more than the time that you were sleeping to begin with. So this is a great pickup, and it doesn't cost much in the way of perk points, so it is absolutely wonderful. Leading into the third and the only category that will have 3 of its skills up here in the S tier. Better Sleep 3. All diseases except for fever do not block healthy sleep. So healthy sleep means if I have enough hydration and I have enough food when I go to sleep, I will heal. So I might be on death's doorstep with 2 HP left. But if I get my if I get my hydration up and I get my food up and I go sleep, I could sleep for 24 hours straight and it'll just go right up to the top of that health bar. Great. Well, what happens if I'm wounded? I can't sleep. It blocks my healthy sleep. I grab this perk point. Okay, now it doesn't matter that I have a cut. Now it doesn't matter that I have a major cut. It doesn't matter if I have serious illnesses. It doesn't matter if I have an infected wound. The only thing that will block sleep now is a fever. That is huge. It will keep you alive forever if you can pull it off. All right. Up next, we have Learning 1. Gives 10% earned skill points bonus. All right, this is an easy A. And it's one of those that is kind of borderline being up there on the S tier. Now, we put on the S tier. Ooh, do we put on the S tier? All right, yeah, we're going to put on the S tier. All right, it's going to be an S. Why? Because more skill points, or sorry, yeah, more skill XP, more better. The more you level up those skills, the more advantages you get. If you're leveling up strength, you're going to be able to carry more, which is huge. If you're leveling up athletics, you're going to be able to run longer, which is huge, you know? And so now when I am, you know, carrying all those heavy weights and I'm getting all my XP slowly, I now get that at 10% increased rate, which means I'm going to start to get those skills a lot faster. And 10% isn't huge, but 10% over all 10 skill levels adds up quick. So do not discount this one. This should be one of the first ones that you wind up getting. Okay, learning 2. Every 5th completed survival task gives 1 perk point. This is going to be a B. It gives you free perk points that cannot be dismissed. That makes it incredibly powerful. It might be an A. We'll move it up to A because it is very powerful. The thing is, you don't have to get it right away, and it's easily controllable. So say I'm doing the survival task to get more perk points. All right, so I have made my palm juice collector, and I've made my obsidian spear, and you know I'm getting ready to make my next item. It's like, okay, I look at my tasks. How many tasks have I done? Well, I've done 4 tasks. Slam on the brakes, grab this point, then do your next task. So this is only useful once you get up towards that 5th task. Make sure you use it before you use do the 5th task, because as of right now, I do not believe they are retroactive, or right term for that. You know, I do not believe so if you did 5 tasks beforehand and then you get the perk point, it won't give you that X one. If it does, awesome. You don't have to worry about that then, but I do not remember it doing it. So, and devs, it should. So make sure it does that retroactively for any of these skills that you have done. But yes, there are a lot of skills that you can pull up and do to get perk points. Just make sure that before you do the 5th one, look through your list. How many have I done? 4. Okay, now it's time to get the perk point. Now I get do the 5th survival task. Simple. And that's the reason why it kind of sits a little bit lower than this one, even though it gives you free stuff, which is great. Anything that gives you free stuff is awesome. All right, learning number 3 gives a 50% bonus to book reading skills. That's going to go on B here. It's a time saver, which is great. So, you know, this one up here, which was Better Sleep 1, that's a time saver. And you might go, well, why is this one so low? Because, you know, you said less time you're reading means more time you're collecting stuff out in the world. The only reason for that is there are a limited number of books right now. And not even all the skills have books right now. So the amount of times it's going to save me is substantial, but it's only for a couple of times. I don't think it's worth spending the points for that, for the time savings. Plus, most of the times you're just going to be standing on your bed. You know, you're going to be fully hydrated. You will be fully fed. It's not going to be an issue. Now, there are some books that are really important to read, maybe even early on, but decreasing the amount of reading speed is probably not going to be that key to it. So, and there's so many other things that you can get perk point wise, and this one costs so many perk points that is just not that highly rated. It might actually be a C. Actually, yeah, we're going to put it on a C. It's because, yeah, it's nowhere near as good as this ability. So we're going to move it down to a C. All right. Last off, we have our last set of skills. First off, we have Alchemistry 1, which unlocks the crafting of the Buffalo Potion. You craft these from the water of life that you find. Now, the Buffalo Potion heals 4 ranks of all diseases and restores maximum health. This is going to be an A. Now, this is the best medicine in the game, I think, right now. It can heal anything. There are some things that are just like it and can give stuff like water, but they're for specific types of illnesses. This heals anything, and it gives you maximum health. So it's a super heal. Now, you can find a couple of these lying around, but this is probably the most important one to actually be able to make. So if you are a person who has some extra living water around, or if you are a person like me who is playing through the lone survivor mode, this becomes super important because on lone survivor mode, you only have 1 faint to begin with. You faint, you're dead. That's it. So outside of using the very first living water to get rid of the initial faint penalty, you're never going to use another one, ever, in the game, unless it's just to heal wounds. And if that's the case, why not use this and heal all your diseases at the same time as getting your health back? So yeah, situational, but super powerful. So that's why I'll sit on the A tier. Alchemy 2. Alchemy 2 unlocks the Snake Potion, 24-hour halt to the consumption of food, water, and energy. This guy is going to sit in the B tier. This is a great potion. You can find several of these lying around the island. My suggestion, now there are some people who would go, well, you can find, if you find one early on, you take it. That way you don't have to worry about stuff while you're gathering at the Island of Hope right in the beginning of the game. I think that is a little short-sighted. When you grab one of these potions, in my opinion, you stash it. And you keep it stashed until you get to the Copper Island. Because what happens on the Copper Island? You are going to get heat stroke. Period. End of story. And when you get heat stroke, you lose energy incredibly fast. It just drops off a cliff. More importantly, your hydration plummets. Just plummets insanely fast. It's terrible. You pop one of these snake potions, you don't have to worry about it for 24 hours. If you have like a pair of these with you, you can take care of all the stuff and say, have clothing to deal with the heat and have a base setup to deal with hydration issues. You can have all of that done by the time the snake potions kind of like start to wear off, you know? So yes, snake potions are really good, but I would definitely save them for when you are exploring islands, especially the hot ones that will give you the overheating stats. Can you use them early on? Yes. Is it nice to be able to make them? Yes. Can you make some for this type of situation? Okay, fine. But having a super heal when you have a limited number of living water to mess around with, I think is more advantageous than 24 hours without losing health, water, and energy. Last up, Alchemy 3. Jaguar Potion unlocks the Jaguar Potion. 12 hours provides unlimited stamina. I'm going to put this one down here. And I'm going to tell you how to fix this too, devs. So listen up, because I'm going to put some insightful things right at you. This one right here, 12 hours, and you can run anywhere. Okay. That's fine. So I can run anywhere. Only problem is, I'm usually carrying stuff. And so, all right, I can run back to my camp with all my stuff a little bit faster to where I don't have to stop as often to get my stamina back and then go. All right, that's fine. But it's not super strong because the amount of time it's going to save you is not a lot. Now, devs, listen up. I am fixing this one for you. We're going to take this one from a D tier to an A tier. You ready? Here you go. This is the fix. Jaguar Potion, change it from affecting stamina to encumbrance. So instead of affecting your stamina, it now affects how much weight you can carry. For a 12-hour period in the game, you have unlimited weight. Think about this. You go to the copper mine, you mine out all the copper, you jug a Jaguar Potion, and you are able to carry all of that in one go back to your base. Amazing. 100% amazing. This just makes you run a little bit faster, basically. Switch it up, guys. Turn this D into an A. You can do it. All right, guys. This is my list. We will quickly look at the S's. We have Poison 1. Once again, this is for dealing with tummy aches. We have Thirst 1. This gives you more hydration out of food. We have Sleep 1. This gives you more sleep for your sleep. We have Sleep 2. This allows you to heal diseases while you sleep better, 20%. We have Sleep 3. This allows you to sleep unimpeded, having healthy sleep despite minor, major wounds, all the way up to fever. If you have a fever, you still can't sleep or heal, but up until that point, you can heal. Great. And then Learning 1, because this gives you extra skill points for all the skilly stuff that you do. Now over here, we have Resist Disease 1 on the A tier, Resist Disease 3 on the A tier. We have Thirst Control 2. We have Food Hunger Control 1. And we have Learning 2 and Alchemy 1. This is the Buffalo Potion. For our B tier, we have Concentration 1 for all you people that have to find those missing spears and arrows. And we have our second potion here, the Snake Potion, which is the Alchemy 2. On the C tier, we have Concentration 2 and 3. We have Resist Disease 2. We have Thirst 3. And we have Learning 3. And then lining up the guys that should probably be adjusted, devs, we have Poison Resistance 2, Poison Resistance 3. We have Hunger Control 2. We have Hunger Control 3. And we have Alchemy 3. So that is my list of all the skills. Please, guys, as I said before, let's have a discussion. Put your thoughts on this. Maybe you think I'm way off base on some of these. Leave those thoughts down below in the comment section, along with any ideas or requests you want to have me cover in future videos. Maybe you have something along the lines of a skill, or not a skill, but a ranking that you want me to do with the different items or something. Leave those thoughts down below. As well, once again, I ask, if you like this content, give it that like. If you like the channel, give it the sub, because I continue making all of these videos because you guys are showing the interest in them. So if you keep showing the interest, I will keep making the videos for you. So y'all have a wonderful day, and be it on Copper Island or the Island of Hope or Red Island or the Windy Island, make sure you guys are surviving. See y'all later. Bye-bye.